Morphology definition is the study of internal structures of words. The study of word formation and the internal structures of word, the branch of grammar which studies structures of forms of words, primarily through the use of morpheme constructs. Morpheme is the smallest syntactical and meaning linguistic unit that contains a word or an element of the word such as the use of as well as this unit is not divisible feature into smaller syntactical parts. Free morpheme. The free morpheme is just a simple word that has a single morpheme, thus it is free and can occur independently. For instance, in David wishes to go there, go is a free morpheme. Bound morpheme, by contrast to free morpheme, a bound morpheme is used with a free morpheme to contract a complete word as it cannot stand independently. For example, the farmer wants to kill Jacqueline. The bound morphemes are as and ling cannot stand on their own. They need three morphemes of from, won, and that to give meanings. Principle 1 from which have a common semantic distinctiveness and identical phonemic forms. Their occurrences constitute a single morpheme. Example: kisser meaning who kisses, dancer meaning one who dances, writer meaning one who writes. Is a morpheme because in all their occurrences in kisser, in dancer, and writer have similar sound and meaning. Principle 2 from which have a common semantic distinctiveness but which differ in phonemic forms, i.e., the phonemes and order of phonemes may constitute a morpheme provided the distribution of former differences is phonologically definable. Example: impracticable meaning practical, meaning not practical; impersonal meaning not personal; impossible meaning not possible; intolerable meaning not tolerable; indecent meaning not decent; irresponsible meaning not responsible; irrepressible meaning not replaceable; illegal meaning not illegal; allomorphs, in, in. Principle 3 from which have a common semantic distinctiveness but which differ in phonemic form is a such way that their distribution cannot be phonologically defined constitute a single morpheme if their forms are in complementary distribution 2 or allomorphs are in complementary distribution of the environment in which one occurs is not an environment where any of others can occur. Principle 4. The zero consists in a significant absence of the suffix as, which occur in a vast majority of plural formation. The other difference between foot and feet is the replacement of u, b, li. This replacement acquires the status of morphemes of a morpheme because it is the only other difference between foot and feet. Feet actually consists of three morphemes. 1. The stem. 2. The replacement of u, b, li. 3. Zero suffix. An other formal difference in a successor series constitutes a morpheme I in any member of such a series. The other formal differences and a zero structural difference are the only significant features for Guising cast distinguishing a minimal unit of phonetic semantic distinctiveness. The distinction between foot and flesh is an other difference. Since it consists in a difference of phonemes, the contrast between the singular sheep sleep and the plural sheep bleep consists of a zero and is covered feet as the plural of food. Food has a structural zero similar to the zero occurring with sheep sleep as the plural of sheep sleep. Principle 5. Homophonous forms are identifiable as the sum of different morphemes on the basis of the following condition. 1. Homophonous forms which distinctly meaning constitute different, e.g. peer, or pair, different morpheme. 2. Homophonous form which relate meaning constitute a single morpheme if that meaning bases are paralleled by distributional differences, but they constitute multiple morpheme if the meaning classes are not paralleled by distributional differences, e.g. the fish noun and the fish verb. Principle 9. Principle 6. A morpheme is isolatable if it occurs under the following condition. 1. In isolation, e.g. cat, girl, play, out, he. In multiple combination, in at least one of which the unit with which it is combined occurs in isolation or in other combination. Or as a morpheme, this never occur in isolation, but it does occur with forms that occur in isolation as dance, play, work, etc. Prefix. Kun is a morpheme prefix. Is a morpheme since it occurs in convey, consume, contain, condense, then occurs in isolation, and the other stems occur in other combination, e.g. perceive, resume, determine. Morphological process serves diverse functions. Some occur to alter meaning and or part of speech derivational, others show grammatical relation between words inflectional. Morphological process alters them to derive new words. They may change the word's meaning, derivational or grammatical functional, inflectional, affixation. Every language has its own rules about the structures and formation of its words. Affixation occurs when a morpheme is attached to a root. Affixes are bone morphemes that must be attached to the beginning of a root, i.e. prefix the end of root, i.e. suffix, and in other language surround a root, i.e. circumfixes, or be inserts into a root, i.e. infixes, derivational morphemes of affix which are added to lexeme to change its meaning or function. They are used to make a new different lexeme. For example, Lee changed the adjective set into the adverb sadly. Most derivational morphemes change the part of speech. For example, and change the verb resemble into the noun resemblance. Note that the E is delayed at the end of the verb resemble when the suffix is added. Inflectional morphemes are affixes which carry grammatical meaning. For example, the plural as in catch or progressive in selling. They do not change the part of speech or meaning of the word. They function to answer that the word is the appropriate form so the sentence is grammatically correct. Traditional compounding and endocentric compound consists of a head, i.e. the categorical part that contains the basic meaning of the whole compound, and modifiers which restricts this meaning. For example, the English compound dog house, where house is head and dog is the modifier, is understood a house intended for a dog. Endocentric compounds tend to be of same part of speech word clause as their had, as in the case of doghouse. Such compounds were called tatpurusa in Sanskrit tradition. An exocentric compound called a bahu virivi compound in the Sanskrit tradition is a hyponym of some unexpressed semantic category, such as person, plant, or animal. Known nature of its components can be perceived as a formal head, and its meaning often cannot be transparently guessed from its constituent parts. For example, the English compound with color is neither a kind of color not whiting. In an extrasensory compound, the word classes its determiner lexically disregarding the class of the constituent. For example, a must have is not a verb but a noun. Reduplication is a word formation for process in which meaning is expressed by repeating all of part of word. The study of reduplication has generated a great deal of interest in terms of understanding a number of properties associated with the word formation process. English has 4 major word classes: noun, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. They have many thousands of members, and new nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs are often created. Nouns are most common type of words, followed by verbs. Adjectives are less common, and adverbs are even less common. For example, book can be used as a noun or as a verb. Face can be used as an adjective an adverb. It is an interesting book. Noun. We ought to book a holiday soon. We love first card adjective. Don't drive so fast adverb. The other word class include preposition, pronouns, determiners, conjunction, and interjections. Preposition describe the relation between words from the major word classes. They include words such as at, in, on, across, behind, for, we went to the top of the mountain to describe the relation between one and top of describe the relation between top and mountain. Pronouns are words which substitute for noun phrases so that he do not need to say the whole noun phrases or repeat in unnecessarily. Pronouns include words such as you, it, we, mine, ours, theirs, someone, anyone, or one, these, shoes. That's Gary in the photo. He lives in Barcelona. This jacket's mine. That must be Linda's. Determiners can be first nouns. They show what types or reference the noun is making. They include words such as a or an, the, do, my, his, home, this, both. Have you got a ruler I can borrow? I need some paper for my printer. This one is not easy to use. Conjunction show a link between one word, phrases, or clause and another phrases of clause. They include and between, what, when, if, because Joe and John are brothers. It was okay, but I wouldn't recommend it as a restaurant. Well, we will ring you when we get to London. Interjections are mostly exclamation words, e.g. gosh, whoa, oh, which show people reaction to events and situations. A. I'm giving up my job. B. Oh. Hippie. I don't have to go work tomorrow. Cause what an awful smell. Thank you.